Let's take them back.
Beautiful view here, the rapid developments in City Place on the shores of Toronto Harbor. Well, we can finally say it. The NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. You can feel the energy here at Air Canada Center. The Raptors looking to please their fans in this Eastern Conference matchup. This game against Indiana, the first game of the NBA's regular season. In the season before, they completely controlled the series 3-0.
And they were unbeaten against this club last season. Not surprising considering where they both finished in the standings.
Yeah, it's really plain as pound cake. They're the better team. I mean, they'll look to prove it again here tonight.
We got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. On the court for Indiana, LeBron James is out there with Dub. Then there's Rodney Stuckey. Then it's Freak, and it's Turner in at the center position.
Well done again. He doesn't have the same problems at the line that plague some of the NBA's other big men.
Scola, a screen on James. Lowry with the ball. He's picked up by James, and that one's good. What about Kyle Lowry on offense? The last 2 seasons, he's been absolutely dominant, Clark.
Yeah, he's developed enough as a point guard now to where he really knows how to direct and lead his team. He's not just a catalyst anymore. He's the leader, and that's the big difference I see with him. And his shot has become more refined.
Here's James after Luis Scola's score. 6 to shoot. 14 feet away. No good. And Toronto will go the other way with it. Here's DeRozan. And he misses his first shot.
You know, in talking about Lowry, you see his shooting percentages didn't change much, but his output sure did. I mean, averaging 17 points and 7 assists a game the past 2 seasons. He also converted more threes. I mean, there's very little he can't do on the offensive end.
Scola left side. Rejected by Jennings. And here we go. Fast break. James has got it. And out of bounds as Toronto gains possession. The Pacers making a change here. George is checked in. For Toronto, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. And stolen by James. Fast break. Here comes Indiana. George with the ball.
Such a strong finisher on the fast break.
And, Greg, I love the fact he's always in control, even though he's going it. He maintains his body control.
And the rejection by James. They retain possession. And Scola with the basket on the assist from Ross. For Indiana, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today.
You know, getting back to Lowry, I really admire his aggressiveness. On the break in the half-court set, doesn't really matter. He's really the guy who makes it happen for his team. And he's a potent straw stirring that drink.
And I would say that's the definition of an ankle breaker, fellas. That move was devastating.
Put him right on the ground on his backside, and then he got all the way to the rim. Beautiful.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. George against DeRozan. Now here's Lowry. He's tightly guarded. Out to DeRozan. Shoots the 3. Jennings with the rebound. Pacers leading by 5. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Kevin, I briefly spoke with Dwayne Casey. Of course, the conversation veered to the challenge of defending LeBron James, and he said there's not a lot of good options with him. He can really do it all. I think you just have to try and stay in front of him, and if he gets in close, you have to bring help. And guys, we've seen LeBron really force the issue as far as getting into the lane. We'll see how they do.
And thank you for that, Doris. Here's James. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possessions.
And the Pacers just missed out on the playoffs last year and would have to settle for 9th in the East. Hard for a team that has been so dominant in the East over recent seasons.
Raptors trail by 10. Lowry kicks to Biyombo. And the foul called on Freak. That is his first foul of the game.
That's his first personal foul.
First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Lowry has the open look.
And the defense not making things easy for them.
Yeah, they're having a hard time getting the ball in the basket, Greg. I mean, and as a result, falling behind you.
Biyombo with the block. Lowry kicks to DeRozan. They need this. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Thing about DeMar DeRozan, he came into the league fairly unpolished. Struggled to handle the ball. Created then his own shot. And but sometimes he would create for others too. But he's settled down. You can see the growth.
Yeah, and that's the one thing. You could see the physical talent was there in terms of him playing the two. The question was, could he make the commitment mentally to become a great player? Well, from what he's done the last few years, I would have to say he's definitely been able to do that. And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to summon up a little more sense of urgency.
Yeah, they've got to do a little more to disrupt their offensive rhythm, too.
Now, here's Lowry. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. It's Scola with the drive. Comes up empty off the pick.
And, you know, getting back to DeRozan, he's put a spit shine on his offense. Over the past 2 seasons, averaged over 20 points a game, was also good for 3 or 4 assists, showing everybody how work ethic can overcome unrefined skills.
No doubt he's struggling right now from the field. Let's see if he can get it going this quarter.
Pass to Scola. Out to the right wing. Screen by Scola. Here's Powell. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
You know, for DeMar DeRozan, scary to think that he's still scratching the surface of his potential. Made his first All-Star appearance in 2014. Was a little dinged up last year, but still very effective. No doubt he's the real deal. All right, a chance to check out stats for Lowry. Good season for him last year. 10th in assists, and he was also among the top 20 in steals. That ability is more unique than folks realize. Very valuable defensively.
And last season, his floor awareness was impeccable. As you mentioned, top 10 in assists. Just does a great job of getting everybody involved.
Caboclo, he's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. The Pacers also changing it up. Mahinmi's checked in for Turner. Hill comes in for Dub. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for LeBron. Nice shot by James.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Scola, and it's sent back by Hill. And a fast break now for the Pacers. Lets the three fly. Rebounded by Luis Scola. Raptors trail by 9. Powell, the pass to Lowry. Just his first attempt. And there's Bismack Biyombo on the assist by Lowry. The Pacers have gone 7 of 13, just over 50% from the floor. Some good looks. James outside. There's the screen. George sets a screen for Hill. Again missing Hill. Toronto's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. And there's the feed to Scola. Down with a nice jam.
And Kevin, that's a little taste of what can happen when the big guy takes it up strong.
Well, I guess he does have it in him then to get up off the ground when he needs to and rock it to the rim.
Yeah, you know, guys, he's never going to elevate that high, but he compensates and makes up for it with his height.
Solomon Hill, he's checked in for Paul George. And stolen by James. And here we go. Fast break. James has got it. Hill has the open look. Good, and the assist goes to James. Hill's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Here's Powell. Outside Lowry. Tipped away. And stolen by James. And we've reached the end of the first quarter. Pacers. And DeMar DeRozan, the star for this Toronto Raptors team, he said he wants to bring them back. Let's face it, it's never easy for Toronto to get the attention that Clark, the U.S. teams get. That's just a fact of life that even Vince Carter at his best couldn't change.
And, you know, I don't even know if winning a championship would change that. Quite honestly, even if DeMar won the MVP. Just saying.
Yeah. And we welcome you back to more NBA action. Players looking hydrated and plenty of Gatorade to help them get their job done tonight. And a look at how the hustle game has been going for Indiana.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
You know, adding on to that, they've done a great job of challenging and changing shots in this first half, and they've gotten some blocks as well.
On the court right now for the Pacers. Mahinmi is out there with LeBron James. Then it's Freak. Then there's Rodney Stuckey. And it's Hill in at the 3 slot.
And for Luis Scola, a very different role for him over the last 2 years. I mean, he was a starter for most of his career. Then signed with Indiana, who had David West at the 4. Off the bench, though, Scola still played efficiently, but he was just used to putting up much bigger numbers for other teams.
Here's James after the Raptors pick up 2. Outside Lowry. Scola left side. It's hauled in by LeBron.
I tell you what, folks, I bet he won't miss that shot next time he takes it.
Stuckey outside. In the corner, it's James. And he bangs it home with one hand.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing, and right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
And offensively, they've been struggling. He just wants to get them back into a good flow and stop forcing shots.
Well, Greg, the misses started
catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Turner's checked in for Mahinmi. Dub comes in for Solomon Hill, and it's Lawson in for Rodney Stuckey.
And not a night he's going to want to remember, just not really able to score the basketball.
The drive by James. Biyombo with the block. Lowry against James, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by James. While we have a chance, let's take a look at the teams that led the NBA in rebounding last season. The Pacers in 5th.
It was really an impressive campaign for their bigs. And honestly, I think the whole team did a great job of getting bodies on bodies and controlling that defensive backboard.
On defense, Indiana. And it's DeRozan missing. James outside. Again, James missing.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
And he gets the bucket. Biyombo's got 6.
You know, Dwayne Casey was once a player at Kentucky, took me and hosted me on my recruiting visit at Kentucky back in 1979. Actually got his coaching start at the school as well.
And here's James outside. Again, James missing.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Ross with a wide open look. Misses the 3. As we were talking about Coach Dwayne Casey, he's found his place in Toronto. Took them, Greg, to back-to-back postseason appearances.
And, you know, it's good to see him finally establishing himself as a head coach. Really known as a defensive specialist, but once he gets in charge of a team, he'll have them focused on defense and really stresses that in every practice.
Now here's James following the miss by DeRozan. The drive by James, laid in with a nice touch off the glass. James has got 12 points in the game.
And he just big-boyed it right there. The height advantage he's got down low, really difficult for them to defend.
Inside, it's deflected. From 11 feet away, Biyombo, no luck. Pacers leading by 9, kicks it to LeBron. That is good.
Well, if you're going to give them layups, there's no way you're going to get back in this game.
Raptors shooting about 33%, not happy with their play on that end. Lowry dishes to Scola. Trying to... break that ice-cold streak. That falls. Nice speed that time from Kyle Lowry. Lowry's got 6 assists here tonight. So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game. Some changes for Toronto. Caboclo, he's checked in for Ross. And it's Powell in for DeMar DeRozan. The Pacers have gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. LeBron James on the wing. And he banks in the layup. James has got the lead up to 11 now for the Pacers.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
And James with a clear path to the hoop. An absolute bomb from three-point range. James has got 7 points for the quarter. James has gotten 6 of his 12 shots to drop, hitting 50% on the night. Here's Caboclo. James covering. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Powell pulls it in. Raptors trail by 12. And it's Lowry penetrating. Nails the wide-open jump shot.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
There's Jennings with the 3 from beyond the arc, and then some. Jennings has got 10 points in the game.
Back-to-back threes for him. The defense is slacking off a little.
You've got to respect that 3, or she'll give up points in a hurry.
Here's James. Can't get it to go. And Toronto will come the other way. They'll be off to Boston for a meeting with the Celtics after this one. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. And it's out of bounds. The Raptors able to retain possession here.
And let's briefly take a look at the stats for Lawson. He had a strong showing last season. Averaged about 15 points a game, 9 assists and 3 rebounds. And with his great passing, he's been a catalyst for their offense, often seeing plays even before they materialize.
For sure. Great anticipation. Peripheral vision is there. Natural talent as well. Really shining through.
Paul George, he's checked in for Indiana.
Checking in for the Pacers, Paul George.
.105 left here in the second. 6 to shoot. Here's Lowry. That one goes. Count it. Lowry's got his second basket of the night.
You know, huge height advantage there, but because of the great body control, he's able to cancel it out.
Agreed. The body control essential in that situation. I mean, if you're giving up a bunch of height, then you better be able to manufacture things in the air. They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
And they may have loved this defense. That was their 9th straight point from beyond the arc.
Here's George. That is in there. Lawson with the assist. George has got his second bucket.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
Just beautiful when they play the game like this.
And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George. Here is Lowry. Knocked away. And stolen by LeBron. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
Raptors trail by 16. Outside Lowry. Down low. Here's Scola. And he drops it in from the low post. Scola's got 6 in the quarter. 7 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Lawson. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. And
I'm alongside.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal. So it's Indiana who's out on top at the half. They lead by 14. Kenny. And that'll wrap up our halftime show. The third quarter set to go moments from.
Welcome back, everybody. Third quarter just about to get going here in what has been so far a runaway game.
Talk about being on his game. Look at the numbers for James. He has 15 points and he's stolen the ball 4 times.
No idea we'd see a performance like this one today.
The only way to describe it in my vocabulary is dominance.
The star pair of Lowry and DeRozan are the guards. Bismack Biyombo is out there with Scola, and it's Ross in at the small forward position. They're the group for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. And James gets it to go.
That's far too good a look to give them from behind the arc.
3 of their last 5 makes come from beyond the arc. The defense has to react quicker.
Well, the one word you can use to describe the Raptors postseason last year, disaster. I mean, Greg, nothing went right for them.
Yeah, I mean, after that great regular season, they were completely just manhandled by the Wizards, swept out of the first round in 4 straight.
And so here is Indiana. After Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. Stuckey for 3. Offensive rebound. Kicks it out to James. It's stolen by Lowry. And here's the fast break. Ross leading the way. Good. Ross has got 6.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
And I say, hey, if it keeps working, go to it. Stay with it. I mean, until the defense responds and provides more resistance, keep making them pay.
Now here's James. He's got 18. On the wing, Stuckey. Back to James. Just 5 to shoot. And good coming on the... Assist by Rodney Stuckey. 20 points for Freak.
Well, I tell you, the Raptors really were befuddled with how that series went. I mean, they just never got things going and became the first team to get swept with home court advantage in the playoffs since 2011.
Toronto calls timeout.
And guys, you look at the Raptors last season and how they stumbled at times. You could see that they would have trouble in the postseason with the way they were constructed. I don't think anybody saw a sweep coming, but that's what it ended up being.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, guys, I was able to hear Dwayne Casey coaching his team during that break. Scola was the focus of the discussion, and he wants their offense to run through him. Coach is calling on him to play a big role in the offense for the rest of this game, to really be one of the key guys for them down the stretch. Coach was not wasting any time in altering their strategy here in the second half, and Kevin, he's going to have to hope those changes take effect quickly.
Thank you, Doris.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
Raptors trail by 17. Outside Lowry. Pass to Ross. Outside DeRozan. And again, Toronto no luck.
It's just been a brutal outing for him. He still hasn't managed to make a shot, and the team is struggling because of it.
And here's James outside. And it's Toronto with the rebound. Biyombo's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Lowry drives in and stolen by LeBron. And James with a clear path to the hoop and finished off by LeBron.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team scrambling to find its game.
Great point. I mean, that aggression has allowed them to just create a lot of havoc, and boy, are they taking advantage. What a play there, the hoop plus the harm.
Yeah, great concentration there, Greg. Hung in there. He didn't let that contact throw him off at all. Stayed focused on the rim, knew he was going to get hit, and still was able to finish.
James against Lowry. Screen by Scola. Scola, a screen on Lawson. And it's DeRozan missing.
It's almost like he's trying to make things hard on himself. You know, he's just got to slow the game down, try to get some easy ones.
No good from Lawson.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
Scola, a screen on James. Ross on the wing. Lets the three fly. And the Raptors miss again.
And Terrence Ross showed fantastic development in his second season, but really took a step back last year. All of his shooting percentages were down. He exuded confidence, but still at times just could not buy a basket.
Raptors have gone a lackluster 3 of 9 from the field since halftime. Biyombo kicks to Ross. The dish to DeRozan. Fades back. Good.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it, good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
And here's James outside. And Indiana, another three.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force of this run.
And the points are starting to add up in a hurry, especially when you're giving up those looks from deep.
A shot by Lowry, no good.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
And that's a good place to start if you're going to try to find your way back into this game. Get to work on the glass. Talk about a terrific game for Jennings. He has 15 points, and he sprayed home 3 3-pointers as well.
This is really production personified from long range.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Caboclo, he's checked in for Scola. And it's Powell in for DeMar DeRozan. The Pacers also changing it up. Mahinmi's checked in for Turner. Hill comes in for LeBron. And George is subbed in for Ty Lawson. From deep, James, and he gets it to go. James has got 17 now just in the second half.
He just exudes a love of the game, guys. You can see it in everything he does. This guy lives and breathes the game.
Here is Lowry. 1:41 left in the third. Poke loose. And here we go. Fast break. James has got it. And he dunks it down.
And a great job of taking advantage of the steal there to get those easy ones in transition.
You know, that's exactly how you draw it up, Greg, on the board. I mean, good defensive work, aggressive play in the open court. Those two things are hand in glove when they work together.
And up the court come the Pacers on the break. Outside, George. Back to James. Tries from 10. Again, Indiana. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Pacers.
Contested shots and block shots. They're bread and butter defensively. They're giving up no easy looks.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long. Another bucket added to the lead. They've been the better team in every facet.
And in my opinion, you get extra bonus points, extra eye of the beholder points when you do it the way they're doing it on the road. That's special.
Here is Lowry following the score by Indiana. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Can they get it? And it's off the back rim. No good.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Yeah, you look across the board, it's actually sizing up, shaping up to be a great game. I mean, strong performances throughout, and they've really been strong on the glass.
And the big lead becomes bigger. They are playing with purpose here tonight, guys.
And they're doing it at both ends of the floor. I mean, that's what you like to see. They've been controlling the action from both ends of the court.
Nobody near George. No good with the triple. And at the end of the third quarter. And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. The Pacers shooting around 60% of the night. Amazing work offensively so far. Time now for an injury report. Now for an injury update on Rodney Stuckey. Let's go to Doris Burke.
Kevin, I spoke with head athletic trainer for the Pacers. He told me he's suffering from back spasms, so they put some ice on it and gave him some painkillers. That's a bitter pill for them to swallow at such an early stage of the season. It really changes the look of this entire team, guys.
All right, Doris, we will, of course, keep everyone updated as we find out more.
And you know what? He could have a long road ahead in terms of getting back on the court. But one thing we all know, he's never been shy of hard work.
No, he's not. I mean, he'll be doing everything he can to make it back as soon as possible.
On the court right now for the Pacers. Stuckey and George make up the perimeter. Hill is out there with Mahinmi. And it's James in at the point. And both free throws good for James.
Boy, once again, the Raptors were able to put forth a really strong year. You know, the national media recognized it, and the Raptors picked up more and more of the spotlight marquee games as a result.
And the shot is good.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
60 seconds off the clock here in the fourth. Feeds to George. To the inside. No one near him. Mahinmi's shot is good. Well, for a long time, Greg, the Raptors didn't have a lot of nationally broadcast games in the U.S. Seemed like a forgotten team at times, unfortunately.
Yeah, and you know what? A playoff drop is one of the ways that ended that factor. Also, the team plays an exciting brand of basketball. They're a division winner to go along with that. So you start adding those things up, and you see why the Raptors continue to get more and more coverage nationally.
And here are the Pacers now. The Raptors getting the bucket. James kicks to Hill. Rebound by the Raptors.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Powell, that's good.
Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
Here's Powell. Here's Caboclo, and another basket for Toronto. For Indiana, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Hill left side. Fires from deep. The shot no good. And Toronto will come the other way. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Here's Scola, and the layup falls.
Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here that they're going on.
And getting to the 10 has been the key. They're getting point-blank looks time and time again.
Now here is Hill. There's a good screen. Again, missing Hill.
And it's just one of those days, guys. He has just struggled to shoot the basketball.
And stolen by James. Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. The three from Hill. Again, missing Hill.
Boy, most games he can knock it down from deep, but it just isn't there for him in this one.
Ross with room to shoot. It's hauled in by George. Indiana's gone ice cold from three-point land, 0 of 4 since the start of the final quarter. This one for 3. And Scola pulls it down. And it's the Raptors' ball. A big stretch here going 10-2. And stolen by James. Outside Hill. And the wide open shot from Stuckey. James misses.
Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. That is not high IQ basketball.
Not at all. I mean, he shouldn't even have considered taking that shot. Just a poor choice there.
And that fella can flat out fly, can he?
Reminds me of a young Greg Anthony out of UNLV.
Goodness.
No doubt about that. Just look at the elevation he climbed to right there.
Kevin, you just made my knees hurt.
That's what sets him apart from so many other point guards in the NBA.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really...
And it's sent back by George. From deep three-point range, sinks it. What range from outside? Wow. James has got 43 points. Here's Powell. James covering. Passes it to Caboclo. Launches a 3. It's rebounded by Indiana. George has got his 3rd rebound tonight. And here's Hill for 3. Fires the 3. Yes, it's James picking up the assist. James has got 9 assists in the game. Great passing. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
And the James with it. Right side Hill. They grab their own miss. George passes to Hill. The drive by James and stolen by Scola. Fast break Toronto. Ross with it. Rodney Stuckey covering. And that one's good. And that's 18 points for Luis Scola.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout. Big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Pacers.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, Stephen Clark. An all-around dominant performance. Clark, and you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
I certainly did, and they just cracked it open and made it an NC. No contest.
Yeah, I like that. And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And what should be an exciting four-game season series between these two teams, they have to feel great about taking this first one tonight against the Raptors.
And beyond the actual result of this game, fans are going to look back and see this was just a monstrous performance for James. You can set a tone with defense, and that's exactly what he did with how he protected the rim.
Shot by Caboclo, no good. And so it's Indiana with it. Oh, my! How did he hit that shot?
I don't believe what I just saw right there, Kev.
The offensive rebound. And that one's good, George.
And you can hear the disappointment in the crowd tonight, but we saw a team that was just ready to do battle in this arena. They clearly wanted this road win.
Crystal clearly. They came in here determined to steal this game, Greg. Their effort level, I thought, was outstanding, and they just took care of business.
For the three. And it's George again missing. So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Yes, I'm here with Paul George. And Paul, a strong defensive effort for your team, and it seems like this is a major part of this team's identity.
I mean, we take pride in our defense. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we hang our hats on is, locking down when it counts. And we stayed together and pulled this one out.
Championships rely heavily on defense, Paul. It's a great place to start. Guys, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. That concludes the first game of the NBA season. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our entire 2K Sports crew. Thanking you for tuning in.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
And hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet. He had an outstanding third quarter. Whatever they needed in terms of energy and offense, he was the firepower that propelled them during the second half. What are your thoughts, Shaq?
There was nothing they could do to slow him down, Ernie. Man, go into a building on the road and completely control the action like he did, only a few players could do that, Ernie. I'm impressed.
He was up to every single challenge he faced tonight. He was in such control of the ball game. His showcase of his skill set was awesome.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
With the Diesel and the Jet, this is Ernie Johnson. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Memphis Grizzlies up against the Pacers in Indianapolis. Taking a look at the Pacers, they haven't forgotten the fact that this team swept them last year in the regular season. This is a game they had circled going in. Paul George came back last season from that injury, and it wasn't too much of a surprise, Kenny, how his absence revealed just how valuable a player he is.
Yeah, he's not just a scorer like a lot of great players supposedly great players are. He's got great defense. He's 6'9". He's hard to deal with a lot of small forwards because he towers over them.
And even though we've seen a lot of great highlights from this guy, people don't realize he's still a young guy. He's just now entering the prime, and the sky's the limit for this guy if he can stay injury-free.
Just about time for tip-off. Let Kevin Harlan, he's got the call as we go court.
Hello and welcome, everyone, to another exciting edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan.
All right, ready to go?
Last game for the Pacers, they pick up the W against the Raptors in Toronto. And they put it all together in that game. It added up to a phenomenal win.
And even in hostile territory, as they were that day, they had no jitters at all. I mean, the confidence kept growing as the shots kept falling.
And they were falling big time. I mean, from the top to the bottom of that roster, everybody was locked, loaded, and spraying jumpers.
Now look at Memphis's starting group. Randolph is the 4 with Gasol in the middle, Conley and Allen in the backcourt, and it's Carter in at small forward. And the Grizzlies with possession here. It's a three-point game. Conley the pass to Randolph. From 11 feet away, Russell Westbrook with the rebound.
And who could forget the tear that Westbrook went on last season? I mean, after the All-Star break, it was just triple-double after triple-double for him.
The drive by James. Westbrook kicks to Turner. Clock at 6. Inside. It's stolen by Allen. They get a hand on it. Westbrook with the steal. LeBron dishes to Turner. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Boy, you got to love that assist by LeBron.
Greg, for Westbrook, as you were talking about him, the triple-double stretch included 4 in a row. He had 6 triple-doubles, Clark, in 8 games. He was sensational.
Yeah, it really was, Kevin. And what's even more amazing was that he was...
Wow, that's a really smooth finish.
That's why we and they always love seeing him at the end of those breaks. It makes it look fun and easy.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Allen against James. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Conley with a wide-open look. Buries the long-range jumper. Conley's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Now about 2 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Westbrook misses off the left iron.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
From downtown, that's tipped. The Grizzlies have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Carter outside, fires for 3. Jennings with the rebound.
You can't miss those, but even the best do on occasion.
In the corner, it's Westbrook. Back to LeBron. Jennings passes to Turner. Just 5 on the clock. The drive by James. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. James has got 5.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possession.
Everyone knows about the Paul George injury from last year and how it affected the Pacers. He said almost the entire season, and there was no doubt they missed him.
Yeah, and when George came back, Kevin, the Pacers got hot, but they had to put him on a minutes limit. And it wasn't just George, though. The team as a whole had a lot of injuries during the course of the season.
Indiana leading by 4. Westbrook with it. Conley picks him up. James, no good. First quarter of action, just under 3.5 minutes played. Westbrook with the block. And the whistle blew, so that'll be a shooting foul. Great defensive effort there with the block shot. But he got more than just the ball that time. Free throws coming up right now. Memphis shooting their first free throws of the game.
And last season, 77% from the line. They could usually get the job done there.
You know, success at the line just became contagious for him. A few guys got on a roll, and it carried over to the rest of the team.
Hill, he's checked in for Turner. And Westbrook, here we go. Count it. His second make in 4 attempts.
Oh, a little touch of class there at the end of the play as he was able to convert on the finger roll.
Allen outside. Randolph gets to Conley. And he gets it to go. Conley's got 5 points so far.
He had his head on the swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
Westbrook wide open. He fires. Cans it from downtown.
And he is really in a zone right now, playing and scoring with confidence.
Gasol, a screen on Westbrook. There's the pick. Conley kicks to Gasol. Wing shot on the way, and that one falls, coming off Conley's feed. Gasol's got his first bucket in this one. Indiana leading by 3. Here's Westbrook, and he gets it to go.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
His leads have gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Outside Gasol. He dishes it to Randolph. Goes up on the block. Rejected by Jennings. James left side. And it's thrown down hard with both hands.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing. And right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. Tough loss coming against Cleveland in their last game played.
And that was one of the few times that you'll see a team just lack fight defensively in losing that game.
Yeah, and I know their fans may not want to hear it, but the reality and the truth is the defensive end of the floor was not what it needed to be in terms of effort.
Looking at who's out there now for the Grizzlies. Chris Anderson has checked in for Gasol. Green comes in for Zach Randolph. And Lance Stevenson subbed in for Vince Carter. Some changes for Indiana. Mahimi comes in for Dub, and Georgia subbed in for James.
Boy, Chris Anderson, certainly one of the more colorful players we have in the league. Kind of took over where Dennis Rodman left off. A high-energy forward who can rebound and defend, and he's got a tattoo parlor going on, too.
James dishes to Hill. Good, and the assist goes to James.
I like the recognition of the mismatch there, immediately making the defense pay.
Conley against Westbrook. Stolen by Westbrook. That's in. That's his 5th field goal. He's shooting a hot 71%, 5 for 7. And a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Pacers.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunities. They're really keeping it up-tempo so far.
Pacers leading by 7. And talking about Chris Anderson, he was actually out of the league for a couple years, reinstated back in 2008. And apparently the time off helped him finish 2nd in the league in block shots going back to that season.
And Kevin, the thing I remember most about Chris Anderson, the 2005 NBA Slam Dunk Contest. He unsuccessfully tried the same dunk 8 times. Count them, 8.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul. Stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
Both free throws good from James.
And that's another area where he is just a superb player. Excellent at the free throw line.
Got a piece of it. And now it's Westbrook running. He can go all the way. And he makes good on the layup. Westbrook's got 13.
I don't think they can ask much more of him than what he's done this quarter.
Here is Conley. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Cleveland.
And was a force on the defensive side as well. 4 steals over the course of that game. And there are more points tacked on here to the early lead.
And it's a nice lead as well. I mean, it's no mystery how they've done it. They're attacking the basket.
And as we conclude the first... And the Grizzlies, a team that's dealt with their share of tough playoff losses. But, you know, you talk to point guard. One big reason why not them is what happened to Conley. Greg losing him in the playoffs last year was the biggest adversity they went through. Can you make a case that it just made them tougher, or did it really take something out of them?
You know, Kevin, it's really hard to say. A tough break, obviously, losing Mike, and I mean that literally as well. But their problems did set them back, and maybe they can be just as good as anybody else, but until they are, they're going to have some issues.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And guys, we've seen a confident-looking Pacers team out there.
I just think that from an intensity standpoint, their defense has really been the key. It's been the catalyst as they've been able to disrupt their opponent's offense.
Absolutely. I mean, they've been much more intense defensively. And their defense not only has been intense, but it's been swarming and saran wrap like.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. Taking a look at the Grizzlies. Randolph is the 4 with Gasol in the middle. Conley out there with Lance Stevenson. And it's Carter in at the 3 spot. Mahinmi kicks to Westbrook. Four on the clock. That's good. Westbrook's got 17 now.
And they've worked the ball around so well tonight for those quality looks from mid-range.
Well, it's interesting. The defense continues to back off, expecting them to attack the rack, but they just continue to pull up and knock down those mid-range jumpers. You know, Dave Joerger, the coach for the Grizzlies, has really become a big-name coach quite quickly. You know, he's worked his way up the Memphis coaching ladder and has had a ton of success early on in his career. He's always going to have a difficult time finishing when the defense is in his face like that.
And here we go. Good, and the assist goes to James. And now it's a 10-point Indiana lead.
And that's sort of been the story here today, hasn't it?
Now a timeout called by Memphis. Russell Westbrook really making a difference here.
They don't seem to have any answers for him. They need to review their game plan and look for a way to cool him off.
Turner's checked in for the Pacers. James comes in for George. And a fast break now for the Pacers. James with the ball.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Conley against James. They double-team Conley. The shot by Carter. Nobody around. The Grizzlies with another miss. Pacers leading by 10. And Turner kicks to James. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
And, folks, he does more than just put 2 points onto their lead. He does it with a little bit of flair.
He sure does. You're right. It's a dazzling move to the bucket for him.
I'll tell you what, he may not be the biggest man in the league, guys, but he more than makes up for that lack of size with amazing aerial skills.
Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. Westbrook with it. 19 points in the game. And that one goes long. The Grizzlies trail by 10. Stevenson with it. He's picked up by James. Westbrook against Conley. Here's Randolph. Back to Conley. Fires the 3. And yes, sir, that one drops. Conley's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for Memphis.
They're shooting the ball extremely well right now. They're looking at that three-point shot as a way to get some extra offense and really continue to fortify their momentum.
The Pacers making a switch here. Jennings is checked in, and Memphis also making a switch. White's checked in.
And the Grizzlies, guys, a powerful post-play team. Mike Conley, though, is still the straw that stirs the drink. I mean, he may be the most underrated point guard in our league. His quickness and ability to penetrate the lane brings a great balance to their offense.
And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's his third foul of the game. And the Grizzlies making a change here. Allen's checked in. And stolen by LeBron. To the paint, here's James, and there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
A great assist. Nice work from Russell Westbrook.
The Grizzlies trail by 11. And Conley at 6'1", about 175. Pretty slight frame, but Clark, he doesn't get pushed around.
Well, he embraces the team's tough defensive style. He gets into you, racks up steals. He's really a committed defender. I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into quick points.
And that can't continue. I mean, if they hope to get back in this game, I mean, it's really deflating from a morale standpoint. They need stops and points, not turnovers.
Down to 5 on the shot clock. Randolph sets a screen for Stevenson. Releases, and there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Chris Anderson is checked in for Memphis. Indiana leading by 13. Outside Westbrook. LeBron outside. Back to Westbrook. On the wing, James. And it's Jennings at the elbow.
2 minutes.
And the shot's good after hitting off the rim. And the Pacers lead by 15.
It seems that every pass they make is leading to a score here. I mean, that's just exquisite ball movement.
And that's because the ball is looking for the best shot, and it's really paid off for them during the run.
Back to Stevenson. Memphis moving it around. Anderson a screen on Westbrook. Conley with it. Westbrook picks him up. Anderson passes to Allen. That one's off. Still out of sync.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
And finished off by Westbrook.
And they're not taking their foot off the pedal. They just keep adding to their lead.
Well, it's never a good idea to back off and ease up, and it doesn't look like that thought's even crossed their mind. I love it.
There's a screen. Feeds it to Stevenson. Pass to Conley. He kicks to Allen. Stevenson against LeBron. And it's Stevenson missing.
Really tough for this group right now, trying anything to stop the run.
And no matter what they've tried, it hasn't worked. I think they've just got to slow it down, idle it back, and get back to the basics.
From deep. Shot's good by Turner. Turner's got his second bucket of the night.
And the big lead becomes bigger. They are playing with purpose here tonight, guys.
And they're doing it at both ends of the floor. I mean, that's what you like to see. They've been controlling the action from both ends of the court.
And it's Wright sending it back. The pass to Stevenson. And a beautiful feed leads to a monster jam.
Good ball movement. He put that pass in the ideal spot, right where it needed to be.
Now James. He had a career game last time out. Bucket after bucket. From deep. And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Indiana out in front as they end the second quarter with an energy burst, a 19.
Yes, Kevin,
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith, and it's the NBA Halftime Show on 2K Sports. There was no stopping Russell Westbrook in the first half. He had 23 points, 4 assists, and 1. And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get underway.
been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game, he has been everywhere.
He was just like a jitterbug out there. I mean, disrupting passes, getting his hands on a lot of balls, forcing turnovers and steals. Just a solid job all the way around.
Like to watch him play like that. Makes the game so much more interesting.
Yeah, it looked a little bit like Greg Anthony in the day. A jitterbug or maybe a gnat with the kind of nuisance he's been as far as defending. Excellent work at that end of the floor for him.
And Kevin Clark's the only guy I know that can call you a gnat and mean it as a compliment.
Make you feel good about it. Yeah.
I appreciate that, Clark.
It's good, Clark. Russell Westbrook out there with Freak. Then it's LeBron James. Then it's Dub. And it's Turner in at the center position. That's the Pacers 5. And Indiana making a change here. George is checked in. They get it back. The shot's good from Carter. Carter's got 5 now.
Nice move and finish. I think the halftime break really gave him a second win.
And George kicks to Turner. 3-pointer. Tries to keep it alive. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it. Last season, Memphis fell late and would end up with the 5th seed in the NBA playoffs. Only one of 2 teams to make the playoffs each of the last 5 seasons, along with the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, and they were a team that nobody wanted to play. Memphis drew Portland in that first round, and even though they were the 5th seed, they had home court advantage.
You know, guys, Memphis waltzed through the first round against Portland. The second round, a lot tougher against Golden State. They went up 2-1 in that series, but couldn't hold on to that lead.
And, guys, Memphis would lose 2 of their 3 games at home against Golden State. So things got tough with the Conley injury and missing Tony Allen as well. But they did put up a good fight, ultimately, though, falling in 6 games to the Warriors.
Conley against George. Paul George with the steal. And here we go. George heading to the hoop. And the dunk by James.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
You know, and Paul George played the first few years of his career in the NBA with 24 on his back. And as you can see, he now goes with 13 after making the switch prior to last year.
Just a little over 90 seconds gone in the 3rd quarter. Conley into the lane. Stolen by George. And now here's George, the fast break opportunity. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Allen.
And you could tell that pass just hung in the air for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Long enough for him to get a hand on it and knock it out of play.
James kicks to James. Allen against James. Clock at 6. Indiana needs to get a shot off. George. No luck. Now Memphis takes it the other way. And with Paul George going with the number 13 now, as you can see, helps with his nickname, PG-13.
Yeah, that's a good nickname, a nice fit. Young Tracy, as he likes to go by on Twitter, he said himself that it was about embracing his stature and stardom in the league. Nice way to do it.
Here's James. That's in for his 8th bucket tonight. A hot 8 for 11 shooting so far.
And after his last game, really not surprised to see him as hot as he is here tonight. It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
James outside. Outside, George. On the wing, James. They set the pick. With some arc. Jennings wide open. That 3 off the mark.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
There's Allen. That's good on the assist by Carter.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
Well, the Pacers, despite all their injuries from last season, were right in the playoff hunt until the very end. Had a chance, in fact, GA, on the last day to sneak in, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, they needed a Brooklyn loss to go along with them winning that last game. Ultimately, though, it wasn't in the cards for them, and they ended a game out of the postseason.
Catching up on the changes now for Indiana. Mahimi comes in for Turner, and it's Solomon Hill in for Dub. James Indiana again missing.
Yeah, great look, but disappointing with the miss.
Boy, what happened on that one, Greg? I mean, that's almost an automatic shot for him. And, you know, the Pacers had made the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons prior to last year's miss. Hard for a team that was coming off of a back-to-back. Boy, you got to build a wall around the bucket to keep this man down.
You know, Clark, and even then, he might just go over it.
He could.
Look at this. Check out the elevation he gets.
Major.
Wow, I tell you, I just cannot get enough of those kind of plays. What a rim wrecker.
Oh, that was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Kia. Conley with it. He's picked up by LeBron. And counted. The shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
Some defensive breakdowns are starting to show up now. Their last 4 buckets allowed have come from very close range.
Yeah, high percentage shots are what they are getting in terms of the attempts, and that's just not going to get it done. They've got to figure it out.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for James, and Russell Westbrook is subbed in for James. Pacers leading by 18. There's the lob to the hoop, and it's George finishing it off.
A little bit of a magic act here, pulling off the Houdini to make that catch and slam.
Stupendous alley-oop.
I think the crowd is still stunned by that one.
Poked loose. For 3, Westbrook. They get it back. This one for 3. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. 26 points for Russell Westbrook. And a breakdown here, guys. The hustle stats for Indiana.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
Yeah, and also the way they've been able to generate points off of the turnovers that they forced tonight has also helped. And they looked terrific in transition today. That's had a lot to do with their success.
Boy, it certainly has. I mean, they've done a really good job recognizing anytime they've had the numbers advantage, and then they've taken advantage. We've seen it time and time again here.
Conley against Westbrook. Conley dishes to Gasol. Kicks it to Green. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Shot clock at 5. The 3 from Stevenson, and that is good. Stevenson's got 7 points.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Westbrook passes to Hill. From deep 3-point range, the Grizzlies pull it in. This game against Indiana, the first time they've met this year.
Yeah, and they swept this matchup the 2 times they played last year. They held the advantage on paper and on the court.
Yeah, exactly. An interconference matchup here. Not a lot of familiarity, but I wouldn't say they caught them off guard. There's a reason one team was in the playoffs and the other team was watching.
Allen kicks to Conley. Green, the screen. Shot, high post. Does not score for only the 2nd time in 7 shots this game. 6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Now, here is Hill. Again, missing Hill. Here's Conley. In the corner, it's Stevenson. That's in there. Conley with the assist. Conley's got his 6th assist on the night. 6 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. And here's Westbrook from the arc. What a play! Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
3 points at the buzzer.
Definitely an answer to prayer there.
And as we conclude the 3rd quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Pacers out in front, just dominating this one. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. Welcome back as we get ready to start the 4th quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. Pacers leading by 22. So on the 4 for Memphis. Carter is out there with Zach Randolph. Then there's Chris Anderson. Then it's Lance Stevenson. And it's Conley in at the 1 spot. And it's Carter missing. The Pacers shooting about 59% from the floor offensively. They've been running without a hitch. The drive by James. The 3-ball. And LeBron with the basket, the assist by James. James has got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for Indiana. Let's go. The rebound by Anderson. Memphis has gone 5 of 9 when they put up the three-point shot tonight. Anderson, a screen on Westbrook. Carter for 3. That's good.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
James outside from past the arc. And the rebound goes to the Grizzlies. Anderson's got his 3rd rebound on the night.
One made 3 for him for the game. Does he focus closer in? Let's see.
And he gets that one to go off the front iron. 7 points for Zach Randolph.
And that's definitely a shot that he has in his arsenal. Well, look, league business clearly doing well. Franchises, values are skyrocketing, and a new TV deal kicking in next season as well. It represents the largest expansion of league revenues in history.
James against Stevenson for 3. Westbrook, and that one's good. Westbrook's got 11 in the second half.
Not shy from outside. There's no doubt about that. Spreading the floor and getting them up.
Love the mentality there, I tell you. I know I've never coached, but, man, playing to win and being aggressive even with the lead as opposed to being safe and going into prevent offense, I'll take the former all day long. Play to win.
And that one's good. Westbrook's got 36.
Guys, it's a one-man show out there. I mean, he looks like he's willing to handle all of the offensive duties for his team.
And he's going up for the alley-oop. Stolen by Conley. And now running up the court, Stevenson pushing it up.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Yeah, what a play right there. Got his man tumbling to the floor, and then the balance to knock it down.
Unbelievable move. Rush hour handles supreme right there.
For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it.
Yeah, the NBA Development League now celebrating its 15th anniversary, and a lot of change over that time. None of the original 8 teams still playing in their original locations. Still, it's only growing. Now, I think we'll see it grow to 30 teams before long.
Inside, here's Anderson. That's in there. Conley with the assist.
They've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
And it's not just their passing, but also the body movement off the ball that's created a lot of those opportunities.
From deep, James. It's rebounded by Memphis. Randolph's got 4 rebounds in this game. Greg, you're talking about the D-League. Not really a moneymaker yet, but it's really benefited, Clark, the NBA in so many ways.
Clearly has, Kevin, a place to train new players, officials, and executives or management, a way to test out possible rule changes. I think building revenue is the focus, though, and the players make a small salary, but the NBA Developmental League is helping the NBA be better.
Glenn Robinson, the third, is checked in for Russell Westbrook. Memphis also making some changes. Matt Barnes is checked in for Carter. P.J. Hairston comes in for Lance Stevenson, and it's Jordan Adams in for Mike Conley. There's a good screen from deep. James. Again, James missing.
Well, you know, that's one thing they've been doing extremely well. Corralling those caroms.
Yeah, that's about the only thing. There's not a whole lot else going right for him thus far.
And the foul called on Freak. That is his first foul of the game. JaMychal Green, he's checked in for Zach Randolph. Adams right side, shot off the pick, and he connects with the jumper.
Effective screen set there for the jump shot. That was the key to the play.
And here is James.
And one record that is going to be very hard for any player to ever match is the Iron Man streak. That record's held by A.C. Green as he played in 1,192 consecutive games. That kind of durability is going to be hard to match in the modern NBA.
Hairston kicks to Barnes. Passes it to Adams. Launches it. And the rebound goes to the Pacers. And with Iron Man streaks, it isn't just injury that can get you. It's scheduled days off and getting suspended games, too.
Yeah, just for reference, last season DeAndre Jordan was the active leader, played over 300 straight games as a player. He was the leader in the league, but he wasn't even a third of the way to Green's historic mark of consecutive games.
So Memphis going with almost an entire new group here. Marc Gasol's checked in for Anderson. Carter comes in for Barnes. Tony Allen's checked in for Hairston. And it's Conley in for Adams. Green dishes to Carter. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Gasol. No good. Good work defensively by Turner. Indiana's gone over and over to the three-point shot in the fourth quarter. 4 of 9. From deep. James, no good.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Conley with it. Robinson picks him up. Robinson against Conley. Banked in off the glass. That gives him a double-double in this one. 10 points and 10 assists.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for Indiana.
But Steve, you know, you don't see this kind of a blowout often. But tonight, this is a quality win across the board to deliver out Clark this kind of punishment.
Well, you know what? I thought they did a nice job of playing against the game. They kept the pressure on and clearly were dominant in every area.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
Yeah, and Greg, when it is just a 2-game season series, the team winning game 1 has that slight mental edge going into the second meeting, knowing they've already solved their opponent one time and only have to do it one more time.
And you have to look back at this and see the huge game it was for Westbrook. There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
And James gets it to go.
I don't want to say they're trying to run up the score here, but they do keep adding to the lead.
Well, I know you don't want to say it, but I will, partners. I mean, they're trying to run the score up here. It's plain and simple. They're trying to throw salt all in that wound.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Pass to Barnes. To halt the run, and the rejection by Mahinmi. And another miss by Memphis. Back to Robinson. Fires the 3, and it's Westbrook. That time on the assist by Robinson. Westbrook's got 39.
And you can sense the fact that they didn't want to let the fans down here. It's been a fun night to be in the building.
Greg, it really has been. I mean, such a lively, vibrant atmosphere, and no doubt that played a part in the big win.
That's also good. So he hits both free throws. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it.
I tell you what, he clearly had a brain freeze on that one. You might just as well keep going straight to the bench.
So no problem for Indiana as they get the win. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
Yeah, they were clicking in every way. I mean, all cylinders go. No question about that. And once they pulled away, they didn't let up.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Well, Paul, what do you take away from a win like tonight in terms of
the 2K Sports postgame show?
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Russell Westbrook. just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out hot and just never cooled down. That boost he gave his team early on, a huge. And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show.